a time shrouded by the mists of history, ancient China was a land where legends wove through the very spirit of existence. On the serene shores of West Lake, a story emerged that would echo through ages, a tale blending the heart of human emotions with supernatural curiosity. In the next few episodes, we will cover the 4 great folktales of China, starting with this one. The tale of the White Snake, by Su Zhen, whose love defied the boundaries of form and spirit, weaving a story rich in magic, mystery, and profound moral dilemmas. Note: details of this story may differ from other retellings, since there are many different variations for this story. Without further ado, welcome to the legend known far and wide as the Legend of the White Snake. In the ancient lands that surrounded Mount Amy, something extraordinary stirred in the shadows. A white snake dwelled in these mountains, its presence unknown to the mortal eye. Like many figures in Chinese mythology, all beings, humans, animals, creatures, could all attain immortality and become godlike if they cultivated enough energy and magic. This snake was no exception. For hundreds of years it had been honing her magic, driven by a yearning to rise beyond her serpentine nature and attain the ethereal state of immortality. Its journey was not merely a pursuit of eternal life, but a reflection of her beliefs in the powers of virtue and decency. Its days were spent in deep meditation and learning, mastering the art of Taoism that few could even fathom. Its mastery over these forces was not for dominion over the earth, but for the salvation of their souls and the souls of others. Its heart, pure and unblemished, yearned to spread goodness and compassion, a stark contrast to the tales of malevolence that often followed beings of her kind. As centuries passed, the snake's powers grew profound, and its consciousness expanded beyond the mere instincts of survival and predation. It began to understand the complexities of human emotions and desires, and a curiosity about the human world grew within. This curiosity was further nurtured by tales carried by the winds and whispered by the birds that flew in the skies above. Compelled by this newfound fascination and their benevolent nature, the white snake transformed itself into a strikingly beautiful woman. Her appearance was as mesmerizing as the goddesses of heaven. The white snake came to be known as Bai Su Zhen. Bai Su Zhen's transformations were not an act of deception, but a bridge built out of genuine desire to understand and interact with the human world, to walk the paths they walked, and to feel the emotions they felt. As Bai Su Zhen stepped into the world of humans, her heart throbbed with excitement and a hint of nervousness, like a traveler stepping into a land of both wonders and unknown perils. Despite her inhuman origin, Bai is kind-hearted and refuses to abuse her powers for evil, and decides to go out into the human realm and do good deeds to earn her immortality. One day she came across a blue-green snake that was being threatened by a beggar. Pitying the poor snake, she rescued the snake from the beggar and transformed it into a woman. This snake came to be known as Xiao King, and in gratitude pledged to be loyal to Bai Su Zhen, becoming her sworn sister. During their journey together, they came across a man that would change Bai Su Zhen's life forever. On a visit to the West Lake in the town of Hangzhou, destiny awaited in the form of a young herbalist named Shu Xian. This encounter, destined by fate, would not only transform their lives, but would also weave a story that would become a beacon of love, sacrifice, and spiritual quest across time and generations. This was the beginning of a legend, the start of a love that would transcend the very boundaries of nature and the norms of the world. On a day when the gentle breeze of spring caressed the vibrant flowers of Hangzhou, Bai Su Zhen, in her enchanting human form, wandered along the scenic fringes of West Lake. The Qingming festival was in full swing, with the air filled with the buzz of people celebrating, flying kites, and paying respects to their ancestors. Amidst the festivities, Bai Su Zhen's path was destined to cross with that of Shu Xian, a young and kind-hearted herbalist. Shu Xian was by the lake offering flowers and incense in memory of his late parents, a ritual of filial piety and remembrance. As Bai Su Zhen approached, their eyes locked across the crowd, a silent, profound connection sparking between them. It was as if the universe itself had paused, acknowledging the birth of a bond so deep that it mirrored the tranquil depths of West Lake. In truth, Bai Suzhen, whether they realized it or not, was destined to locate Shu Xian. Legend says that in a past life they were both immortals who were in love, but were banished from heaven because of their forbidden romance. The moment Shu Xian saw Bai Suzhen, he was struck by her grace and the intense aura she exuded, feeling an instant draw to her presence. Moved by an inexplicable pull, Shu Xian approached her, and they began to converse. Their talk flowed as effortlessly as the lake's waters, and soon they found themselves sharing stories of their lives, hopes, and dreams. Bai Suzhen, with her deep wisdom and empathy, listened intently, her heart swelling with a feeling she had never experienced before. Love, human love, that was pure and overwhelming. By the time the festival lanterns lit up the evening sky, they had forged a connection that promised something more than just a fleeting festival acquaintance: marriage and harmony. In the months that followed, Bai Suzhen and Shu Xian's relationship blossomed like the lotus flowers that dotted West Lake. Their love, deep and sincere, led them to the bonds of marriage. The ceremony was simple yet filled with an air of joy and sacredness. The union of Bai Suzhen and Shu Xian was not just a merging of two hearts, but also of two worlds, the mortal and the mystical. Together they opened a medicine shop by the bustling marketplace of Hangzhou. Shu Xian handled the day-to-day affairs, while Bai Suzhen applied her profound knowledge of mystical herbs and healing techniques. However, in the beginning of their venture, the couple already faced troubles. Shu Xian had purchased herbs from his former employer, thinking that he could be trusted. However, the resentful employer actually sold Shu Xian rotten herbs. The timing couldn't have been worse since a plague had infected much of the city. There was a constant flow of customers that came looking for medicine. However, due to the rotten inventory, there was nothing he could do for them. That was until Bai Suzhen stepped in. With quick thinking, she used the rotten herbs and her cultivated magic to create a recipe that could treat the plague. This remedy cured all the infected citizens. Word of her miraculous cure spread quickly, and people from all over the city, and even from distant lands, came seeking remedies that no other physician could provide. The resentful employer even had to buy the remedy from the couple to treat his own family and patients. Their home became a sanctuary of happiness and warmth. Laughter filled the air, and the sweet scent of healing herbs mingled with the aromas of their domestic life. In time, their joy multiplied with the birth of their son, Shu Shilin, also known as Shu Mengjiao. He was a cheerful boy who brought a new melody to their harmonious existence. Bai Suzhen was a loving mother, her heart brimming with a joy that only a mother knows. Shu Xian, ever the devoted husband and now a proud father, found his life imbued with a purpose and happiness he had never imagined. Their shop became more than just a place of healing. It was a beacon of hope and a reflection of the power of love and compassion. The community, once strangers kept at a polite distance, now embraced Shu Xian and Bai Suzhen as one of their own, their respect and admiration for the couple growing with each passing day. In this chapter of their lives, Bai Suzhen and Shu Xian discovered the true essence of harmony. Not just the peace that filled their home, but the harmony that resonated between their souls, proving that love could indeed surpass all boundaries. As Bai Suzhen and Shu Xian's lives flourished in harmony, a shadow loomed on the border of their happiness. Fa Hai, a monk residing in the nearby Jinshan temple, held a unique ability that allowed him to perceive beings of a supernatural nature. His senses tingled with suspicion upon hearing tales of Bai Suzhen's miraculous healings and the uncommon prosperity of the couple's medicine shop. Fa Hai was a staunch protector of the natural order, a man whose life was dedicated to maintaining the balance between the human realm and that of the spiritual. To him, the marriage of a human to a spirit, no matter how benevolent that spirit seemed, was a violation of the laws that governed existence. The thought of a demon living so closely among humans, sharing in their joys and sorrows, was anathema to him. Determined to rectify what he perceived as a grave anomaly, Fa Hai began to plot a way to reveal Bai Suzhen's true nature to Shu Xian and thereby sever the union. He visited Shuxian under the guise of seeking treatment, observing the couple and biding his time. Fa Hai's plan was not merely to expose Bai Suzhen, but to drive a wedge of fear and distrust so deep that Shuxian himself would turn away from his wife. The perfect opportunity presented itself during the Dragon Boat Festival, a time when the city of Hangzhou burst into vibrant celebration, and the air was thick with the excitement of races and festivities. Fa Hai approached Shuxian with a concocted concern for Bai Suzhen's health, suggesting a special Realgar wine reputed for its medicinal qualities that would ensure her well-being during the bustling festival. Shuxian, ever devoted and unsuspecting of the monk's true intentions, gratefully accepted the wine. He presented it to Bai Suzhen with a heart full of love, oblivious to the storm that was about to unfold. As they sat watching the dragon boat slice through the water of West Lake, Bai Suzhen, touched by her husband's care, drank the wine. Within moments, the devastating effect of the Realgar wine took hold. Bai Suzhen's form shimmered and twisted, her graceful human features warping into the majestic and terrifying visage of a giant white snake. Shuxian, his mind unable to reconcile the sight of his beloved wife with the creature before him, was struck by a horror so profound that his heart stopped, and he fell lifeless to the ground. The festival's joy turned to chaos around them, as onlookers screamed and scattered, the legend of the demon in their midst turning from whispered lore to startling reality. Bai Suzhen, her own heart breaking as she beheld her husband's fallen form, realized the depth of Fa Hai's deception and the ruin it had brought upon her family. Her world, once filled with love and acceptance, was shattered in a moment, leaving behind only the fragments of her once harmonious life. This revelation marked a dark turn in the tale of Bai Suzhen and Shuxian, thrusting them into a vortex of fear, betrayal, and a fight for redemption and reunification that would test the very bounds of their love and conviction. In the shadow of her great despair, Bai Suzhen, with her beloved Shuxian lifeless before her, refused to succumb to fate. Her resolve as firm as ever, she transformed into her snake form and slithered away from the chaos, heading towards Kunlun, a legendary mountain range. Legends whispered of a mystical herb, guarded by disciples of the Old Man of the South Pole, ancient spirits and treacherous terrains, capable of reversing the veil of death itself. Her journey was fraught with perils. Monstrous beasts lurked and mystical tempests raged, each step a demonstration of her undying love and iron will. Bai Suzhen battled against celestial forces and navigated through mazes of venomous flora, each obstacle pushing her to her limits. Finally, after enduring trials that would have broken lesser spirits, she obtained the herb. Returning to Hangzhou, she administered the magical remedy to Shuxian. As life seeped back into his body, his eyes opened not with fear, but with a love so profound that it bridged all gaps between life and form. Shuxian embraced Bai Suzhen, accepting her in both her human and serpentine forms, reaffirming their vows amidst the ruins of their trials. Yet, their reunion was but a brief calm before a storm. Fa Hai, ever vigilant and driven by his dogmatic crusade to sever their bond, seized the moment of vulnerability. He confronted the reunited couple, battling Bai Suzhen with the power of his convictions, sacred incantations, and calling upon the deities Skanda and Sangharama to assist him. Bai Suzhen, along with her sworn sister Xiaoqing, engaged in a mystical battle that defied the norms of the mortal realm. Despite her mystical prowess, Bai Suzhen was subdued by Fa Hai's relentless assault and was imprisoned in the Leifeng Pagoda. The Leifeng Pagoda is an 8-sided, 5-story tall tower located by the West Lake in Hangzhou. By imprisoning her, he claimed, it was to save Shuxian's soul. But in truth, it only served to bound Bai Suzhen in chains of dark magic, away from her husband and newborn son. Despite Shuxian's pleas for her release, Fa Hai refused, separating the destined lovers. Xiaoqing manages to escape being imprisoned but vows to return one day for vengeance. Meanwhile, Shuxian spends the next few decades fighting and trying to free his wife, but to no avail. With his many failures, Shuxian becomes a monk at the temple to stay close to his wife and wait for her eventual return. However, all hope was not lost. During the many years that Shu Xian tried to free his wife, he also raised their son, Shu Xilin. Shu Xian imbued his son with tales of his mother's love and sacrifice. As a result, Shu Xilin grew under the shadow of his mother's legend, his heart filled with determination and his mind sharpened by the injustices borne by his family. He excelled in his studies, his intellect honed by the desire to right the wrongs of the past. When he came of age, Shu Xilin achieved scholarly distinction, his name revered across the land. Yet, his highest aim was not accolades, but the liberation of his mother. With the wisdom of his father and the courage of his mother, he returned to Westlake, the site of his family's deepest joys and greatest sorrows. At the same time, Xiaoqing, who had spent these many years refining her powers, also returns to confront Fa Hai and defeats him. Harnessing his knowledge of both the ordinary and the mystical, Shu Xilin devised a plan to break the spells binding his mother. With a daring combination of celestial arrangements and his own scholarly incantations, he weakened the foundations of the Leifeng Pagoda. As the structure crumbled, Bai Suzhen was freed, her form once again illuminated by the light of day, her spirit unbroken. Meanwhile, Fa Hai flees the temple and is later punished by the gods for not being able to tell the difference between good and evil. The reunion of Bai Suzhen with her family was celebrated by those who witnessed the trials and tribulations of the White Snake. Her liberation was not just a victory over her confinement, but a monumental testament to the power of familial bonds and the enduring strength of love across all forms of existence. After enduring a labyrinth of trials, the profound resilience and undying love exhibited by Bai Suzhen, along with her family's unyielding support, finally pierced the celestial veil. The deities, once silent observers to her plight, now acknowledged the purity and strength of her spirit. Bai Suzhen's long pursuit of immortality, initially sought through her own magical cultivation, was at last within reach, not through her solitary efforts but through the collective trials and unwavering bonds of her family. As dawn broke over Westlake, where so much of their story had unfolded, a divine light bathed Bai Suzhen, Shu Xian, and Shu Xilin. The air around them shimmered with the essence of the heavens, and a celestial breeze whispered promises of eternal peace. In that moment, the family ascended, their forms glowing with an ethereal grace. They were welcomed into the heavenly realms, not just as survivors of earthly tribulations, but as immortals, embodiments of love's true power and the spirit's capacity to transcend the confines of worldly existence. In the heavens, they were celebrated and revered. Bai Suzhen's transformation from a feared demon to a celestial being became a legend, not just among mortals, but also within the celestial courts. Her story was a testament to the idea that true immortality was not just the continuation of existence, but the immortal impact left by one's actions and choices. The legend of the White Snake richly encapsulates themes that resonate through time and across cultures. Initially, it served as a warning to young men to beware of beautiful women of unknown origins and not to give in to their base desires. But as it evolved, the story celebrates love's ability to transcend the superficial distinctions of form and origin. Bai Suzhen and Shu Xian's love, tested by supernatural interventions and societal judgments, emerges as a profound force that challenges the very laws of nature and societal constructs. Furthermore, the tale delves into the conflict between duty and personal happiness. Fa Hai, representing societal and religious norms, believes in maintaining order through separation and suppression of the unnatural, reflecting the often rigid enforcement of societal norms. In contrast, Bai Suzhen and her family illustrate the pursuit of personal happiness and the fulfillment of emotional and moral duties, which ultimately lead to higher spiritual validation. The quest for redemption is another pivotal theme, as Bai Suzhen's journey is not just about escaping her physical confines, but about seeking redemption in the eyes of a world that had seen her as a malevolent force. Her final ascension is a powerful redemption narrative, celebrating her transformation and vindication. This legend also challenges the rigidity of societal norms and the fear of the unknown. advocating for understanding and acceptance over prejudice and fear. It underscores the triumph of the individual spirit against overwhelming odds, highlighting the capacity for change and understanding within the human heart. As the echoes of Bai Sujian's tale resonate beyond the misty shores of Westlake, they leave a lasting legacy, a beacon for all who believe in the transformative power of love and the enduring strength of the human spirit. The legend of the White Snake remains a poignant reminder of the complex interplay between fate, duty, and personal choice, inviting each of us to reflect on our own journeys and the barriers we can overcome through love and perseverance. Thank you all for watching all the way to the end. I hope you enjoyed this as much as I enjoyed making it. What did you think? Did I miss any details? Let me know in the comments below. If this is your first time watching one of my videos, then welcome to the channel. I hope I earned a like and subscription in your eyes. If not, that's okay. I'll keep making videos until I do earn it. If you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for your continued support. I truly appreciate all the views, likes, subscriptions, and kind words and messages. Without you, this channel wouldn't be here today. That's it for now. I hope to see you all in the next one.